the only thing I want to do, and I'm going to do it no matter what. And so I knew that staying in Madison, it would almost be impossible to make it, you know? So I said to she one day, I said, hey, man, if you want to do this, if you really want to make it, we got to move to New York. And she's like, what? I'm like, I'm serious. Do you really want to do this or not? She's like, yeah, I really do. Let me think about it. I was like, okay. It wasn't but a day or two later, and she called me and she says, I'm on board. So we literally packed up a U-Haul, and moved to New York, you know, with no path, with no direction to follow. We just had a dream and a U-Haul. And then I'm working at a bar in the East Village, and this woman comes up to me, and she's like, hey, are you Goddess? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I saw you perform and you made me cry. And I was like, thanks, I think. And so she said, have you ever thought about being on the L Word? And I was like, of course, of course I want to be on the L Word. She's like, well, my friend is one of the music directors, at the L Word, Elizabeth Ziff from the band Betty. I'd love to send her your stuff. And I was like, are you serious? And I'm like, are you lying? Because it's New York. People are always trying to hustle you. I didn't know if she was totally full of shit or what. So I was like, okay, let's exchange information. And so sure enough, the next day, she emailed Elizabeth and CC'd me on the email. So I'm kind of a hustler. So I also, kind of took the email address and emailed her on the side and said, hey, I'm really looking forward to sending you our stuff. And so I sent the stuff off. And it's like maybe 3 days later, I'm at the boxing gym I used to box. And I, for some reason, had really baggy workout pants on, and I didn't realize my cell phone was in my pocket. And so as I'm doing crunches, I feel my phone, and I'm like, what the heck? And I just pull it out so my coach doesn't see me, and I look, and it's this really weird number. And at the time, my mom still used calling cards. So I'm like, she's told it's my mom. I got to call her back, Put it back in my pocket. Don't think anything of it. So I go next door to get some food, and I listen to my voicemail, and it's like, what's up, Goddess? This is Easy Girl from the L Word. And she's like, you guys effing rock. She's like, you guys want to come party with the L Word? And all of a sudden, my stomach just dropped, to the floor. I was like, holy crap. They really like our music, So I call her, and she's like, yeah, man, we want to have you guys on the show. Not only use our music, but they wanted us to be on the show. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm freaking out. So I call she, and I tell her, and she's screaming. She's like, oh my God. So we're so excited. So now she's told everybody. I'm more kind of secretive, not secretive, but I'm more private. I don't like to tell people things until I know for sure, like, we already did it type of thing, So I didn't tell that many people because I didn't want to go around saying until I knew for sure. But she told everybody. She's so excited. And so months go by, and they're like, we think we're going to have you on, but, we're like 90%. And then we're just freaking out. So finally they call us, and they're like, we're for sure going to put you on the season 3 finale. And she and I are looking at each other like, oh, that's probably a good episode to be on, the season finale. They tell us that they're going to fly us to Vancouver, and they're shooting the season 3 finale at this beautiful ski resort 2 hours north of Vancouver in Canada called the Whistler. And so I had one speaking line. I was so nervous about it that I practiced it for 3 months, and I kept forgetting it. So this is the last shot of the whole season that they're doing, okay? So the crew and the cast and everybody is so tired. This is literally 3 or 4 in the morning from them shooting all day, okay? So everybody's really anxious, ready to be done. So I have to... Okay, let me rewind, because once we get there, right before I'm about to do my line, I see Eileen. She's the producer of the L Word. And I had been really nervous because I was like, they don't credit anybody on the show. So if you look at the credits, they don't say who the music's by. It just says it's from Easy Girl because she's the producer. So I'm like, man, how are people going to know who we are, if we don't say anything? And I thought maybe we could wear, like, some jackets with our names on it. Or, like, I brought CDs, like, maybe we can flash a CD. And so this is important that everybody should really think about in life when there's one thing, one pivotal moment, one opportunity that can completely change your life. And if you're too scared to assert yourself, you may never be able to do it. And this one thing that I did literally changed she and I's entire life. I went up to Eileen in front of 100 people. She doesn't care about me. You know, she's worried about getting the final shot. And I said, excuse me, is there any way, since, you know, people aren't going to know who we are, that we could show our CD or mention something? And she looked at me, she's like, no, I'm sorry, that's not in the script. And, you know, I'm sorry, but I just don't think we have time for that. And so I was kind of like looking at her like, really? I'm like, oh, but, you know, we came all this way and this is such a great opportunity for us. And we'd really appreciate if there was some way that we could let people know who we are. And so she kind of like was a little bit dismissive, and I kind of gave her puppy dog eyes, as she says. And so 5 minutes later, she comes up to me and she's like, okay, quickly say your name and then say the line. So that one thing literally changed our entire lives. So I did the line, and the line is, what's up, Shane? I'm Goddess, and this is she. And there is a prescription to a happy marriage, and this is it. And then we sing Lick It. If you know this song, we were on the album performing this song. Good evening, class. I would like to welcome you to Pussy Eating 101. Pay close attention now. You gotta lick it, better lick it right. Touch it, better touch it right. Kiss it, better kiss it right. Do that pussy right. The rules and regulations of pleasing a girl. Going downtown can really rock the world. But you gotta make sure that you know what you're doing. There's a map down there that you gotta start learning first. You gotta make sure you rehearse. Move around your tongue while you try to curse. Cause there's nothing worse than a tongue that doesn't work. Then your girl will be mad and you feel like a jerk. Spread out a list before you kiss. You gotta make sure that you find a clip. Lick a little bit, then move it all around. Lick it all over till you hear me. And you know that you got a good spot. Tease it and touch it, but not a lot. With your mouth on top, you're in control. You can make it happen fast and slow. Lick it, better lick it right. What, touch it, better touch it right. Kiss it, better kiss it right. Do that pussy right. Then what you lick it, better lick it right. Touch it, better touch it right. Kiss it, better kiss it